Welcome to this Advent devotional series. This is day 9 of our series. I am Reverend Lester Spees, and I have the privilege of serving as pastor at Memorial Lutheran Church in Glendale, Wisconsin. During this Advent season, I will be reflecting on some tough questions that come from Scripture and on some sacred spaces that have helped me to respond to those tough questions. Thank you for joining me in this journey. This devotion is for Monday, December 5, 2022. And our tough questions for today come from Matthew chapter 13, verse 27. And the slaves of the householder came and said to him, Master, did you not sow good seed in your field? Where then did these weeds come from? There are a lot of things that I do not understand in this world. So many things seem way too complex for my simple-minded brain to comprehend. I used to try really hard to make sense of things that didn't make sense. And to be honest, I still try to make sense of such things. I've just gotten to a point where I am more realistic about the long-term prospects of accomplishing that goal. And the long-term prospects do not look very good. As an example of this, I am well aware that there are a lot of people in the world who see things as completely one thing or another, all good or all bad, easy or hard, right or wrong, perfect or defective, one extreme or the other. I know this to be true. I have met and appreciate people who live lives in these extremes. They are among my favorite people in the world. These are people who often care most deeply about things that matter to them and respond passionately to their sense of calling. I admire these people. I support these people. I love these people. But I do not understand these people. For me, life has not been so much about either or. Instead, I see life lived out more in the both and. When I was in high school, I spent my summers working on the family farm. But even with all of the required chores, there was still time in the day with nothing to do. I would often fill that time making a mile-long walk at least a couple of times a day. Half a mile along a country road to a small bridge, and then half a mile back home again. Rarely did a car or tractor come my way. But if one did, I had plenty of room to move over to the side of the road and let the vehicle pass safely as I continued my walk. I loved that walk. Each time I ventured out for my stroll, it was a different experience. The path itself, the stretch of road that I traveled, remained the same. I was not one for being too adventurous and trying new paths, but the surroundings changed constantly. Depending upon the time of the year, I got to see Indian paintbrushes, a beautiful red flower, bluebonnets, a beautiful blue flower, and the Texas state flower, and wild blackberries growing along the side of the road. I might get lucky and see some bunnies, squirrels, or turtles crossing the road. When a turtle crossed the road, I knew it was time to start heading home soon. Grandma Spees always said that if you see a turtle crossing the road, rain was soon to come. More often than not, she was right. However, in my daily walks, I also saw things that were less than beautiful. Weeds and tall grasses often grew right beside the beautiful flowers. That meant I didn't get to see the beautiful flowers as a result. Mosquitoes would often join me on the journey, especially if it had rained recently. I preferred taking my walks solo. And every once in a while, the animal crossing the road wasn't a cute bunny or a turtle moving to higher grounds. It was a slithering snake. When that happened, I did an abrupt turnaround. The total journey quickly became less than a mile, and it was no longer a walk, but a record-breaking sprint back home. I am sure that I broke a few world records during those times. No one from the Guinness Book publication was there to verify it, so you will just have to take my word for it. On those walks, I saw things that were beautiful right next to things that were less than beautiful. I saw things that were calming right next to things that increased my heart rate at the mere sight of them, and not in a good way. I saw things that brought me joy right next to things that brought me sadness. Extremes coexisted. The natural order was complex and confusing. Why do the weeds grow next to the things of beauty? Why do snakes invade the turtle's road? I didn't understand, and I still don't. But I know that they do, and that God is still in the mix as well. The walk to the bridge and back was filled with both and, not either or. However, that didn't make it any less enjoyable or blessed. Even sanctified spaces can be marred and still be holy. They can be scarred and still be sacred.